I'm here at the Air Canada Centre to set up a remote camera in order to give the viewer a more intimate look at the game of basketball. It's not all that complicated, but we do have to arrive quite early, about 3 hours before tip-off, in order to set up the camera on the backboard in preparation of the game.
With a few tools such as a magic arm, a ball head, a set of wireless transmitters, and a dedicated cord, I'll be able to control the camera from my baseline seat. Now honestly, news photographers already have a spectacular point to shoot basketball. There are several positions along either baseline where we can sit. Personally, I like to be on the edge of the key and close to where all the rebounding action happens. However, my view is always looking up, and since the players are on average 6'7" or better, it's nice to get the vantage point where we can look down on the kings of the court. The basketball rim itself is 10 feet off the floor, and we mount the camera above that. We want to capture the intensity of the action that goes on around the rim. This is a position that doesn't always work, but when it does, it affords a great view of the play below. First, we mount the camera to the gear and make sure it's all very secure. Then, with the help of a ladder, we fix the camera in position, often upside down, so it fits tighter against the glass. To do this, we use a nifty little multi-angle tool known as a magic arm. Next is a focus, which we set to manual and pre-focus at a designated spot. For this spot, I tend to shoot with a little more depth of field because you never know where the action really will be. And because the camera is fixed to the backboard, we can slow down the shutter speed to about 1/500th of a second instead of the 1/1000th that is needed from the floor positions. We then secure the apparatus in the unlikely event there's a malfunction. The last thing we want is a camera bonking an NBA player on the head. Lastly, we fix the wiring by taping it all down with gaffer tape, then turn on the device and wait for tip-off. There are two methods to fire the remote. You can hold the trigger remote in your hand and fire it when you believe there's good action at the basket, but you're unable to shoot with your handheld camera at the same time. Or, you put the transmitter on the hot shoe of the handheld camera, and the remote will fire every time the handheld camera records a photo. But of course, there's a lot of empty, boring frames recorded on the remote camera with this method.
You'll shoot a lot of frames when you do this, and the vast majority won't work. But when you get one that's really nice, you'll be keen to do it again. For thestar.com, I'm Rick Madonik.